What's going on, guys? Welcome back to F123 for the Season 2 pre-season video. Yes, we are now going into Season 2 of F123 My Team Career. So we're going to start off with a little thing I put together, a quali head-to-head. So I went through all 16 races, saw which teammate beat who in every race, and this is how we're looking at it. So from the top left to the bottom right is kind of the closest to the furthest away head-to-head. So Verstappen and Perez at Red Bull was 8-8. At Haas, it was 9-7 to Hulkenberg. Ferrari was 10-6 to Leclerc. Alpine was 10-6 to Ocon. Mercedes was 11-5 to Russell. Alfa Romeo was 11-5 to Bottas, McLaren was 14-2 to Norris, AlphaTauri 15-1 to Tsunoda. At TGL Motorsport, my team, we of course had two teammates. It was 15 for me, 0 for Iwasa, 1 for Doohan. Aston Martin was 16-0 to Alonso, and Williams was 16-0 to Albon. So I just thought that was a nice little thing to put together so you can see how the teammates went against each other in a quali head-to-head. These are the results from Season 1. Of course, Charles Leclerc took the championship in fairly considerable fashion there. Sainz actually got pretty damn close to Russell in the end. Verstappen's not too far back there either. We were fairly close to Perez, but yeah, it was a good season overall, I think, for our first season in F123. As we go now into some activities here, we also put an aerodynamic upgrade on the car, which we should be seeing towards the end of the season before next season, because we are still technically in Season 1 here, finishing things off. Now, going for a new teammate, Yuki Tsunoda is the teammate that I wanted to actually have mid last season when we had a driver swap mid-season. We looked at Tsunoda, but we didn't have the money for him. We have the money for him now, and as we approach him, he accepts the approach. So we are going to try and get Yuki Tsunoda in our team for Season 2. Now, you're probably wondering why Tsunoda. Well, firstly, I don't really, one, have the money, and two, I don't think I need to go for a super, crazy like a Hamilton or a Leclerc or a Verstappen just yet. I think it's a bit too early on in the team to go for that. It's not as realistic. I think we want to go for a lower down driver, but a driver that I think has potential, and Yuki Tsunoda is that driver. He managed to score 1 point in that AlphaTauri last season. The AlphaTauri was terrible. They finished last in the Constructors' Championship, but Tsunoda was always doing a pretty good job, and he pretty much trounced his teammates in race and in qualifying as well. So I think he could be very, very good in a quicker car. We're hoping to be towards the front end of the field straight away this season. AlphaTauri are really giving us a bit of a bidding war here. They don't want to let him go super easily, and I'm like swapping between large bid and a small bid. We're up to 7.05 million, but I think that is going to do it, and sure enough, AlphaTauri have given up. We have Yuki Tsunoda signed for our team. He is 91 rated at the end of that whole thing, and he might actually be higher rated if we upgrade some facilities, and also if we put some other kind of driver activities in going into this next race. Now we're going to adapt a couple more durability parts going into the break as well, because of course we have a regulation change to durability and powertrain. We ended up finishing 4th in the Constructors, and we got our goal for our sponsor, so that's all good. Extra money in the bag there. And this is the calendar we're going to be running for Season 2. Starting in Saudi Arabia, we then go to China, we then have Miami. Imola is the next track. We're going to go back to Canada because I love this track, and we had a DNF there last season. Austria for the first sprint race, then we go to France, then to Hungary, Belgium for the next sprint race, the Netherlands, Zandvoort, Singapore. We then go to Qatar for another sprint race weekend, and then another one in Brazil. Then we have Portugal, Las Vegas, the penultimate round of the season this time, and we finish in Abu Dhabi. So there's a lot of tracks there, a lot of great tracks that we're not going to, but I wanted to cover off every track that I hadn't raced at in Season 1. So that is why we're missing, tracks like Silverstone and Monza and things like that, Bahrain, Australia. This is our car going into Season 2. This is what it looks like. So I've stuck with the green and the orange tints on the car, but we've gone to a black base color. We've gone for matte paintwork as well. I just wanted something a bit different. I was kind of wanting a yellow or a gold and black car, kind of like, Renault sort of vibes, but nothing was really gelling with me. So I've gone with this, and although it is a lot of black, the green especially really stands out. I mean, that bright green front wing I think is pretty damn awesome. We're going to go for Duotone as our primary sponsor, and I believe the goal for that is to score 5 podiums within the team, so I think we can do that this season. We're going to stick with the Mercedes engine because it is still the best engine on the grid. No engines at 100 performance or durability, but Mercedes is quite considerably the best. Only other changes here, of course, we've got different overalls, as you can see there. Same overalls as last season because I didn't really like any of the other ones we had, but we've changed the white for the black, changing our team colors to black as well instead of the white. Do some activities there for a few things, I think aero and chassis upgrade, and also the driver training camp. We're going to put a few facility upgrades on as well, get marketing up to marketing level 2. I think I put one on powertrain to get powertrain up to spec 2 because that wasn't currently on spec 2, and we're going to get chassis up to spec 3 because chassis is still the part of the car that we seem to be lacking with a bit. Even though we're putting upgrades on all the time, we're also going to go for a bit of a fitness upgrade on personnel as well. And then we're going to put a couple of personal perks on too, just to have a bit more driver acclaim, a bit more resource points. We have got to choose a teammate and a rival. And out of these 3, I decided to go with Sergio Perez. A bit difficult. I thought Verstappen's going to beat Perez. Leclerc is always super quick and he's the defending champion, so I think Perez is the one we've got to go for there, although I think we're going to be pretty it's going to be difficult to beat any of those guys. And we're putting a few more facility upgrades on the car, but now we have a look at the driver lineups for Season 2. Unfortunately, I'm going to say not a whole lot of driver transfers here. I was hoping for a lot more. Ferrari, we're doing these in Constructors' Championship order. Ferrari retain now Drivers' World Champion, defending champion Charles Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz, who had a big uptick of performance towards the end of Season 1. Mercedes finished second and they retain George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. Russell finishing the runner-up in Season 1. Hamilton, I think, was P4, maybe P5 in the end, but a good season from Mercedes, mainly from Russell though, but Hamilton's going to be looking to bounce back at his teammate in Season 2, that's for sure. Red Bull had a bit of a disappointing season, to be honest. Ended up P3. Verstappen there ended up 4th in the championship behind Sainz, so that wasn't great for him. Perez didn't even get a win, only had a couple of podiums, so a pretty poor season, especially from Perez, but they'll be looking to bounce back this season. We finished 4th, of course, and our new teammate is Yuki Tsunoda there, so the first change here, but I will be honest, there's not a lot of change here. It's very unfortunate. I mean, I've stolen Tsunoda, so that's going to may change something up, and of course Nico Hülkenberg also retired at the end of the season, so that's going to mix things up as well, but unfortunately it doesn't mix up a whole lot. Aston Martin next just finished behind us. They retain Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Alonso definitely getting the most out of that car, Stroll really not. I'm surprised that Stroll is still there. If they have a very competitive car again this season, maybe we'll see him drowning and losing his seat. McLaren ended up finishing joint on points with Alpine, but on countback did get P6. Norris and Piastri still staying at that team. Of course, Piastri with that big crash in Las Vegas last time out, but still finished the race. But yeah, not great for him in that final race. Alpine is also exactly the same. See what I was talking about here, about how things just aren't changing, and it's very unfortunate. Pierre Gasly actually got the better of Ocon in the races, finished about 8 points ahead of him, but Ocon had the quali head-to-head. They stick with their good lineup there, hoping to get in front of McLaren next season. Williams had a big jump up to P8, would that be? I believe, in the championship after their double points finish in Las Vegas. Of course, Albon coming home P6, Sargent coming home P10. They retain those two drivers for Season 2, so let's see if they can get any higher up. And this is the first big change. Haas have a completely new lineup with Hülkenberg retiring. Magnussen has also left Haas, so let's see where he's gone. But now Jack Doohan, my old teammate, has joined Haas, and alongside him is Liam Lawson. So we've got an Aussie and a Kiwi in the Haas. Brand new lineup for Haas, so that should be interesting. Alfa Romeo stays the same. They finished 10th in the standings last season. Not a great season from them. I think they scored 3 points. Bottas and Zhou still there. Zhou didn't score any points, was the only him and De Vries, the only 2 drivers to not score points, so not a good season from Alfa Romeo. They'll be looking to bounce back. And then AlphaTauri finished dead last with 1 point, and replacing Yuki Tsunoda is Kevin Magnussen. So Magnussen has moved from Haas to AlphaTauri. He beat Hulkenberg in the championship last season, not in quali though, but yeah, he's been, I guess, demoted to AlphaTauri because both the teams, to be honest, not particularly great, but yeah, not the best move for Magnussen there, but maybe he had no other choices. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Watch out for round number 1, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, coming soon for season 2 of F1 23 My Team Career Mode, and I'll see you guys in the next video.